How to use the HP Client Management Script Library. The HP Client Management Script Library, or CMSL for short, is a library of manageability commands that you can leverage to automate tasks such as updating device firmware and configuring fleet settings for easy asset management. Before downloading and installing CMSL, be aware of the system requirements to run the software. CMSL is supported on 64-bit PowerShell 5.1 and higher. CMSL supports Windows 10 version 1809 and higher and Windows 11. Displays connected with HDMI or DisplayPort cables can retrieve the serial number and allow functional setting adjustments. However, a USB-C connection is required to facilitate firmware updates or data transmission. Download and install CMSL. The Microsoft PowerShell Gallery is the recommended method for downloading CMSL. To begin the download, go to PowerShellGallery.com/packages. You can find this link in the description for this video. Search for HP CMSL in the search field. Scroll down and make sure the most recent version is selected. Under the Install Module tab, select the copy icon to copy the CMSL install command install-module-name HP CMSL. To install CMSL using PowerShell Get, open a PowerShell window as an administrator. Execute the command install-package provider-name NuGet-force. Then execute the command install-module-name PowerShell Get-minimum version 2.2.5-force. Close the PowerShell window. Then open a PowerShell window again as an administrator. Execute the command install-module-name HP CMSL-force-accept license. This is the same command copied earlier from the PowerShell Gallery. Alternatively, you can also get CMSL directly from HP by going to hp.com/us-en/client-management-solutions/download.html. You can find this link in the description for this video. CMSL displays in the list. You can select the Notes icon to view all available information and commands for CMSL. To download the software, select the link in the SoftPack column. Open the file and follow the prompts to complete the installation. Be sure to download the package on all managed PCs. You can use cloud management solutions such as Microsoft Intune or Microsoft Configuration Manager to push the update to your fleet. Now that CMSL has been installed, go to developers.hp.com/management/doc/client-management-script-library. You can find this link in the description for this video. Here you can find all CMSL commands as well as a comprehensive explanation of each command. CMSL commands for HP displays. To view all display-related commands, select Displays from the left-hand menu. Here you can find all display-related commands, as well as a list of all supported monitors. CMSL commands are divided into 3 categories: Get, Set, and Update. Get reports back data on the display such as the serial number, display model, backlight hours, and the current configuration status of a feature. Set allows you to configure the display settings for a monitor. Update gives you the ability to push a firmware update to your monitor fleet. Available firmware update options vary based on the display. Select one of the 3 categories to learn more about the command features and options. For example, select Get-HP Display to view a description of how the Get command functions when a device serial number is input. To run a Get command, open a PowerShell window. Enter Get-HP Display-serial number, and then enter the serial number for the monitor you would like to retrieve information on. The screen might momentarily go black, then a list of all available information for the device is displayed. If a field is marked as NA, then that feature or function is not supported by the device. If no serial number is input, device information is retrieved for all connected displays. To view information for set commands, return to the CMSL site and select Set-HP Display. A description and all available parameters are listed. To run a set command, open the PowerShell window. Enter Set-HP Display, as well as the parameter name that you would like to adjust. In this example, we will adjust the brightness. Enter Brightness 100 to adjust the monitor brightness to 100%. The screen might momentarily go black, then the display will adjust the brightness to 100%. CMSL will return an error message if a parameter is set to a variable that extends beyond the capability of the device. For example, entering 110 as the brightness parameter will not work, as it exceeds the 100% brightness capability of the monitor. To confirm that the brightness command has been executed, open PowerShell and enter Get-HP Display, as well as the device serial number if applicable. Here you can see that the brightness command to adjust to 100% has been completed. To view information for update commands, return to the CMSL site and select Update-HP Display Firmware. A description and all available parameters are listed. To run an update command and update the firmware for a managed device, open the PowerShell window. Enter Update-HP Display Firmware. The screen might momentarily go black, then the display will open a firmware update soft pack. Click through the prompts before starting the update. Silent firmware updates are available for supported displays. After the firmware update is complete, open PowerShell and enter Get-HP Display, as well as the device serial number if applicable. You can compare the previous firmware version and the new firmware version to ensure that the update has been completed. CMSL commands for HP docks. You can also execute commands for HP docks. To execute a dock command, return to the CMSL site and select Docks from the left-hand menu. Here you can view the Get and Update options for HP docks. The option to install is also available here. To install the HP Dock WMI provider, open the PowerShell window. Enter the command install-HP Dock WMI provider. Follow the steps to complete the WMI provider install. Once complete, return to the PowerShell window and enter Get-HP Dock. A list of all the available docking information and feature states populates the screen, including the firmware version. Return to the PowerShell window and enter Update-HP Dock Firmware. Follow all steps to complete the firmware update install. To confirm the update has been installed, return to the PowerShell window and enter Get-HP Dock. Compare the previous firmware version and the new firmware version to ensure that the update has been completed. In summary, CMSL allows you to easily implement firmware updates to ensure your display fleet stays up to date. Remotely configure your display fleet settings to meet your organization's standards, and get access to relevant display information for your fleet. With HP CMSL, managing your fleet has never been easier.